What if I told you that one of the most generous people on the internet, one of the richest creators in the world, doesn't openly talk about religion the way you might expect? What if I told you that the real secret behind his actions is not just money, not just strategy, but something deeper, something that looks like belief, but not in the way most people think? And what if the question isn't what religion MrBeast follows, but what he truly believes about life, people, and purpose? Because sometimes, the most powerful belief isn't what you say, it's what you do every single day. And today, we are going to explore something most people never talk about. Not his money, not his fame, but his belief system. The mindset, the philosophy, and the invisible force that drives everything he does. MrBeast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, is not widely known for publicly declaring a specific religion or deeply discussing his personal religious identity in detail. Unlike some public figures who openly express their faith in interviews or speeches, Jimmy keeps that part of his life relatively private. And that alone is interesting, because in a world where people often use belief as a label, he seems to express his beliefs through action instead of words. But does that mean he has no belief system? Not at all. In fact, if you look closely at his life, his decisions, and his impact, you begin to see a pattern, a philosophy that is incredibly powerful, incredibly practical, and deeply human. At the core of what he does, there is one undeniable truth. He believes in giving. Not just casually, not just occasionally, but at a scale that most people cannot even imagine. He gives away money, houses, food, opportunities, and sometimes even hope. And the question becomes, why? Why would someone choose to give away millions instead of holding onto it? Some might say it's for content, others might say it's for growth. But if you look deeper, there is something more. There is a belief that value comes from impact. A belief that helping others is not a loss, but an investment. A belief that the more you give, the more meaningful your success becomes. This kind of thinking aligns with many moral teachings found across different religions and philosophies. The idea of generosity, of helping those in need, of using your resources for the benefit of others. These are not new ideas. They exist in Christianity, in Islam, in Buddhism, and in many other belief systems. But what makes MrBeast different is not that he talks about these ideas. It's that he executes them at a level that forces the world to pay attention. He turns abstract values into visible action. He takes what many people believe in theory and makes it real in practice. Another important part of his belief system is his obsession with purpose. He doesn't just create videos randomly. He studies, he analyzes, he improves, and he constantly asks one question: how can I make this better? This reflects a deeper belief that life is something to be mastered, not wasted. That time should be used to build, to create, to improve. This kind of mindset is not tied to a specific religion, but it echoes a universal principle found in many spiritual teachings: the idea of discipline, of stewardship, of using your talents to their fullest potential. But here's where it becomes even more interesting. Despite all the success, all the fame, all the influence, he continues to push forward as if he has not done enough. He reinvests his earnings, he takes bigger risks, and he constantly raises the bar. This shows another belief, that growth never stops, that satisfaction can be dangerous, that comfort is the enemy of progress. And while this may sound like a business mindset, it also reflects a deeper philosophical stance about life itself. A belief that you are always in the process of becoming something more. Now, let's address the question directly. What is MrBeast's religion? The honest answer is that there is no widely confirmed or consistently emphasized religious identity that he publicly promotes as a central part of his brand. He has not built his platform around religion, nor has he made it a primary topic of discussion. And that's important, because it means we must understand him not through labels, but through behavior. Not through what he claims, but through what he consistently does. And what he does tells a powerful story. He believes in people. He believes that strangers are worth helping. He believes that kindness can go viral. He believes that generosity can scale. And perhaps most importantly, he believes that one person can make a difference at a level that most people never even attempt. These beliefs are not tied to a single religion, but they resonate with the core of many. They represent a kind of practical morality, a lived philosophy that prioritizes action over identity. This raises an important question for the viewer. Do you need a label to live a meaningful life? Do you need to declare a belief in order to practice it? Or is it possible that the most important thing is not what you call yourself, but how you treat others? MrBeast's life suggests that belief is not just something you hold, it's something you demonstrate. Every time he gives, every time he helps, every time he creates an opportunity for someone else, he is expressing a belief that impact matters more than possession, a belief that success is more meaningful when it is shared. At the same time, it's important to stay grounded in reality. Not everything is perfect, not everything is simple, and not every action can be reduced to pure intention. He is also a businessman, a strategist, and a creator who understands how to build attention and scale influence. His actions exist at the intersection of generosity and content creation, and that complexity is what makes his story so fascinating, because it shows that belief, business, and impact can coexist, that doing good and doing well are not always opposites. So what can you learn from this? First, that belief is powerful, whether it is religious, philosophical, or personal. Second, that actions speak louder than declarations. And third, that you have the ability to shape your own belief system through the choices you make every day. You may not have millions to give, but you have something: time, energy, attention, kindness. And how you use those things defines what you truly believe. In the end, the story of MrBeast is not about identifying his religion. It's about understanding his principles. It's about seeing how belief can be translated into action, how values can be scaled, and how one person's mindset can influence millions. And maybe, just maybe, the real takeaway is this: you don't need to wait until you have everything to start making a difference. You just need to decide what you believe and start living like it's true.